Hi everyone, Roberta Weiner here to do some yoga with you. I would love to have you move your body a little bit with me today, to do a little breathing with me today. It served me really well for a lot of decades, and I've been teaching for about 20 years, most recently at the senior center. So they asked me to do a little yoga for you, and here we are. So what we do first is centering. So go ahead and either allow your eyes to close or softly gaze. Sit comfortably. As you can see, I'm in a very simple chair. You could be in a fancier chair in your home, whatever you have. So eyes are closed or softly gazing. And just notice how you're feeling today. How'd you sleep last night? Try to notice without doing any judging. And see if you can come up with one really nice thing to say to yourself. Whatever it might be. And start to notice your breath. So just notice how deeply you're breathing right now without doing anything to change it. How long has it been since you took a really deep breath? Let's do what we call a cleansing breath. It's in the nose, out the mouth. So it's deep breath in and sigh it out. And again, one more time. And now a hand on the belly, a hand on the rib cage, and see if you can expand like a balloon as you breathe in. And let the air out of the balloon. So actually feel the belly rising and falling, and maybe you can notice the rib cage expanding and contracting. It's subtle, but if you kind of poke, not a big poke, but if you kind of notice those little muscles between the ribs, let them expand. So you're trying to make more room for your lungs to expand. So important to have a really great lung capacity. Trying to keep our respiratory systems nice and strong and healthy. There's a little bit of lungs up here. We try to fill all the way up. I like to put my hands here just to help guide me, just to know that I am expanding with the inhale. Now on the next breath, try taking the arms straight up. Notice your shoulders. If halfway up is good, stay there, or you could come all the way up. And then we go straight down. So just adding a little movement to the breathing, going straight up, and then take it down. Then let's take the hands behind the head and support the head with the elbows sticking out if that's comfortable. And think about the shoulders being way back. Inhale deeply. Again, and one more. And then bring the hands together and rub the palms vigorously. Let's take them into heart center. Breathe gently. But just notice, that was just like 2 to 3 minutes of deep breathing. See if you feel a slight shift. Maybe, maybe not. And we end our centering and breath work by creating a small intention for the practice. Could be I'm fully present for my day. I'm open to whatever. I'm feeling happy and positive. Whatever that might be, fix it in your mind and then press it right into your heart. Option of chanting Om. If you haven't chanted before, you can just listen or you could hum along. We exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Taking chin down and hands down, whittle the fingers. So chanting is like singing, and it has a very physical benefit, which is it helps to extend out your exhalation. And a long exhalation is the key to relaxation. How are your fingers feeling? Let's do a little massage. So take the thumb to the opposite palm and draw a circle. And just notice. So you'll know how gently or how deeply to go, what feels good. And then we'll draw a line to the webbing. So just think about this webbing between the fingers and draw a line a couple times to each in between the fingers. Go to the next one if you haven't already. and the next one. And then just kind of brush that off, and then massage each finger like you're milking a cow, I imagine. I've never actually milked one. And you're not trying to crack your knuckles. If they crack accidentally, it's not a problem, but just try to give it a little loving attention. And once you've done them all, rub the hands together, and we'll do the other hand. So the thumb, so it might tingle. If it tingles in a good way, that's good. Building up energy, prana, we call it prana, life force energy. It's like qi, if you've heard qi from the Chinese, it's pranas from India. So it's the same thing. And we draw a line between, to the webbing between the fingers, just like before, and the next one, and the next one, but you can go at your own pace. And the next one, and then brush that off, and then go ahead and give each finger that little milking the cow, little massage, and good. Rub them together. Nice. Go ahead and rest the hands down, wiggle the jaw. Relax the face, take the chin down and the ear toward the shoulder. So we're just noticing the neck. Bring it center. So nice and tall, look side to side. Just notice your range of motion. Look to one side, take the hand and give it not exactly a press, just like an encouragement. Encouragement. We never ever force. We're just encouraging. We want to increase our range of motion. And let's take the other side. And at the very least, we want to maintain our range of motion. So you want to notice how far you can see. And go ahead and bring that center. And rub the hands together again. This time, take the hands behind the neck. Give yourself a little massage. So self-massage is a great tool, especially if you're shut in and, just not making it out to the massage therapist. If that's part of your usual routine, learning to do some things for yourself is wonderful. Let go of that. So palms down, shoulders up, back and around. Roll the shoulders. We'll go the other direction, back, up, forward, and down. Let's take both shoulders up and lower them down. So both shoulders up together. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower. A couple more up. Slowly lower and up. Slowly lower. Let's do one and then the other. So we're alternating. One shoulder up and down. Up and down. Just notice your shoulders. In yoga, we try to get our body to do things we don't kind of normally do, if that makes sense. So we get out of our sort of customary ways of being. Let's pause here. Take one hand down, the other arm up and reach. So we're side stretching. And second side. So let's take it side to side. There's no rush here. Just go at your own pace. And then if it's comfortable, hold to one side. And notice those little muscles between the ribs. We're trying to stretch them, and by breathing into it. Whenever we stretch, we want to breathe deeply. So deep inhale. And slow exhale. Reach for a deep inhale. And a slow exhale. One more time. Reach. And let that go, and take the second side. So one hand is firmly down, the other one up, and side stretch. Deeply inhale, and release, and again, and release, and one more. Deep, 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 and let that go. So now let's take the hands right on the legs, and we'll take the back, so the shoulders are back and the heart's lifted. I think I'm going to sit this way. Maybe you'll see me a little bit better. So the shoulders are back, heart is lifted, and then we round it. Maybe my sweater's too loose. Let's see if you can really see my back. Shoulders back, lift the heart, and then round it. And take a few more. So we're undulating the spine. Our goal with the spine is length. So we don't want to do a really big, deep forward bend. So don't do what I'm doing right now. We want to just do it a little tiny. We want to really have a lot of room there because, we do this a lot driving, typing. So we want to try to, in yoga, lengthen. So we now have our shoulders back, our heart, I'm going to come back here. We have our shoulders back, heart lifted. So think about center of chest, lifted, shoulders back, and maybe take the hands behind you, interlace fingers. They might not reach if they don't reach. So maybe you have a sweater you could hold on to, or maybe you have like a tissue, or maybe you have, you know, a mask, something you can hold if your hands don't reach. And give yourself a nice stretch in the shoulder blades. Inhale deeply. And then go ahead and release. And if you were holding something, go ahead and put that down. So I'm going to suggest we transition to standing. If standing doesn't work for you, by all means, you can keep sitting. No worries. So first we're going to come up and down. So this is the idea. If you have arms in the chair, you can use them. Ultimately, our goal is to be able to gracefully stand and sit without holding on. So in other words, we don't want to be like, unless we have to, right? So we want to think positively, like, sure, I could stand up, and then I could sit down. So usually, I don't know if I'm a trusting person, because usually I'll take a peek behind me. Wait, is the chair still there? No one grabbed it or anything? Before I sit down. So trying to trust the chair's still there. It didn't go anywhere. If you feel safe, come to stand and come back to sit. We'll just do it 2 more times. We'll stand and sit. If you need to hold on, it is 100% fine. And stand and sit. And then we'll come to standing and we'll remain standing. Again, just a suggestion if you'd like to join me standing. So I'm just going to turn my chair so that you can maybe see me a little better. And the idea is to use the chair to help us with that extension of the spine. So walking back away from the chair, make sure your chair is sturdy and it's not going to suddenly go woo, you know. So you want a very sturdy chair. This chair is sturdy. I did that on purpose. So walking back if you can. And you might notice once I stop talking, or I'll talk down here, that my head is going between my arms. And I don't know if you can see my knees, but they are deeply bent. Deeply bent. And then go ahead and come back up and walk toward the chair. Arms at the sides. Let's take a mountain pose. We're going to go back to that. But just to get a sense of now the extension when you're standing. Think about that really long, long spine. And I find this mountain pose is a great thing to practice when you're standing 6 feet away from other people outside waiting on a line or something. So you can, instead of thinking, ugh, I have all this time, wow, great time to practice my mountain pose. So your feet are nice and solid in the ground, even. So it's not like this, right? It's nice and solid, and you're even, the 2 sides of your body as much as you can, even. All the toes pressing down, balls of feet, heels, lifting arches if you can, nice strong legs. This is your mountain pose, and this is something you can practice, and no one even knows that you're doing it. You're just, wow, that person has great posture. So that's what you're doing. So then, to do that stretch again, we're taking our hands to the back of the chair and beginning to carefully walk away from the chair. So your back is nice and long, and I don't know how else to say it except you're sticking your butt up. That's what you're doing. You really are. So it's a little awkward at first, and I find it helps to bend the knees. So if you bend the knees, that may help. The key is you want the spine to be long. We're not looking for that curved, well, put it this way, the spine's in its natural alignment with its natural curves. And maybe depending on your shoulders, your head can end up down here. It might not. You might be here. That's 100% fine. Let's take 2 deep breaths, 2 more deep breaths. I'm going in the nose, out the mouth. Carefully come on up and walk to the back of the chair. And let's come back to our mountain pose. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. So while we're standing, or you're welcome to sit down and you're welcome to lean, whatever you need to do, let's add on another breathing technique. So at the beginning of the practice, we did our sort of regular, what we think of as our regular yoga deep breathing. There's also an energizing breath, which is kind of like blowing out candles, except ultimately you do it out your nose. So it's a little weird. So you may wish to pre-blow, but we'll start with it out the mouth. The idea is, imagine you have a candle. So imagine your finger's a candle and you wish to blow it out in one sharp blow. So you want to impress someone, let's say by blowing out the birthday candles in one. So it's, and you see how my belly sucks in when I do that? So it's, and then I passively breathe in my nose. So it's, so maybe give that one try. Just blow it out and just see if you feel the belly. Now, any kind of high blood pressure, any issues like that, back off of these kind of more intense practices, but it can be nice for toning not only your sinuses, but also toning your muscles around the belly. So let's just do one more. And ultimately, with practice, you could do it out the nose. And that's the last one. Let's breathe in through the nose gently. And let's sigh it out. One more time. And sigh it out. And one more. So we always say one more, and then there's usually a couple more. So let's try a warrior pose. So for warrior pose, let's say your left foot, can be either side, but let's say your left foot is facing your chair, and then your right foot steps back. So this could be a tiny step. Your foot is facing out. So unlike if you were doing a lunge where both your feet are facing forward, this time your right foot is pointing out. Your left knee is directly over your ankle, so you could peek down. Now, it could be not as far as the ankle, but you don't want to go further than the ankle. So if you find like, oh, this is easy, I can totally go further, then you might take the back foot a little further back. You go deeper. But usually if it's your first time, go a little more shallow. So the idea with the warrior poses, you can guess from the name, it's about strength. But in yoga, we're not about violence, we're about peace. So we want to go ahead and have the arms equal. Now, if one arm needs to be down, that's fine. But what we don't want is to be too sort of thrusting and violent, but we also don't want to be like sort of wimpy and, you know, don't know where our own power is. So we want to be pretty much equal with the arms. If you're able to hold up the arms, you can hold them up maybe so strongly that it's like a shelf. Someone could put an encyclopedia of books on your arm. Let's take a deep breath here. And go ahead and release it. Now you might like to take your hands to your chair and turn the back foot so now you are in a lunge. So now all the toes are facing the chair. And you could stay here with hands on the chair, or you could reach the arms up. We're breathing in and breathing out. You could breathe in the nose, out the mouth, or in and out the nose. And that's the last one. Hands back on the chair, and let's step it in. So now we'll do the other leg. Step it back, turn the foot, and I'm just going to twirl my body so you could see me better. And again, it's you're either holding on, I'm holding the imaginary chair with my front hand, or your arms are up, and you're feeling that you do have strength and power inside you. It's a matter of getting in touch with it. So again, we're not sort of too intense, and we're not wimpy, but we're trying to be centered, just trying to be centered. So just see how that goes. 2 more breaths. And then release it. And now again, both of the feet are facing the same way, holding the chair. I'll go here so you can see. Make sure you're doing it on, the same side. as you were doing your warrior two, as you come into your lunge, option of holding, option of reaching, inhale, and again, and come on down, and back to mountain pose. Inhale, and exhale, and we're taking our time, making our way back down to the chair, and maybe we're going down gracefully without looking, having trust that no one moved the chair. I'm not kidding. For me, I have to usually look, so it's a practice. So, sitting down, see if you can engage core muscles. So what does that mean? There's a lot, that could be a whole half hour by itself, but for now, think about the muscles right around the navel. See if you can squeeze them, lift one leg. Bend and straighten. So you're squeezing those muscles so that you don't have to lean on the chair. If you have to, it is totally fine. Every single thing I say, just a suggestion. Hold it up if you can. So we're squeezing, squeeze, squeeze, and lower it down, second side. We're lifting and lowering. And I don't know if I mentioned that, as you can see, I'm wearing sneakers. Yoga traditionally is done barefoot, but when so many people have issues with feet, practicing with your sneakers can be safer. So you know your own feet, so you can choose. Go ahead and hold. But if you do wear shoes, and go ahead and lower, make sure they're really good solid shoes and that they're pretty big. If you can see, you know, there's plenty of space in here for my toes. My feet aren't scrunched up. So you really want to make sure that your shoes are really good. Let's go ahead, if you feel really strong in the core, and lift both legs at the same time. If that's too much, please alternate. So what's happening here is we're using those core muscles. And some people say, I don't think I have any core muscles. And we all have the same muscles. So they're definitely there. Sometimes it just takes a little while to find them, but they're there, so no worries. Just see if you can locate them. And if you're having trouble locating them, let's do this. Let's put the feet down. Take one hand so it's actually, you're touching your body or your shirt, whatever you're wearing, and squeeze those muscles so that your muscles are coming away from your hand. So right now, I'm touching, I'm squeezing, I'm no longer touching. I think that's too subtle for you to see what I'm doing, but it's a small movement. You're squeezing and the body is coming away from the hand. So that's a good way if you were thinking, I don't think I have those muscles, that's a good way to kind of start and work up to it. And then just go ahead and give it a little rub. Like, you know, thanks for working. That was good. That was good. So let go of that. So let's go ahead and release the active practice that we've been doing and give yourself credit for showing up today, trying this, you know, all that good stuff. And we'll come into a little guided relaxation. So for guided relaxation, you can sit in your chair. That's totally fine. Just get but in that case, I'd lean. You know, just get as comfy and cozy as you can. If you have a couch nearby, a bed, whatever, you can lie down. And go ahead, close your eyes or softly gaze if you don't want to close your eyes. You don't need to watch anything. I'm just going to talk. You could even, if it's light out, you could even put a little something over your eyes to block out the light, or a little blanket if you're cool. Just get really comfortable and begin to release tension. So you may wish to say to yourself, just repeat after me, my feet feel heavy. My feet feel heavy. And go ahead, let them be heavy, and just sink right into the floor or the couch, wherever you are. My legs feel heavy. My legs feel heavy. My whole lower half of my body, the whole lower half of my body, sinking, it's settling, going limp. Lower half of the body, going limp. Now notice your back And just let the back sink and settle. You may wish to say, my back feels heavy. My back feels heavy. My shoulders feel heavy. My arms and hands feel heavy. My head feels heavy. And then notice your face. And let your face be light. Let any worry lines just go away for now. Relax around the jaw. Relax the throat. My throat feels calm and peaceful. My throat feels calm and peaceful. Soften around the heart. My heart is open. My heart is open. Soften the belly. My belly is soft. Belly is soft. Now notice both legs, let them settle. Both arms, whole front of the body, whole back of the body, whole head together, whole body together, whole body together, whole body together. And you may wish at this point to turn me off and go ahead and just relax. But if you need to go about your day, I'll guide you. So beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes, if you wish to come back. Open, close your mouth. Inhale, stretch arms up. Exhale, hands in front of you, rub them vigorously. Maybe rub your feet together. If you're lying down, you might roll to one side and then press yourself up to sitting. And let's meet sitting. And allowing eyes to close or softly gaze. Bring hands together to heart center. And see if there's anything from this practice that you might like to hold on to, whether it's a specific thing we did or a specific way you're feeling. Just hold on to it. Bring it right into your heart. And we'll chant Om. Exhale. Inhale. Om. Om, peace, peace, peace. May you have peace in your heart. May you have peace in your home. And may we have peace in our world. Bowing your head, honoring your own beautiful light, we say, Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Namaste, meaning the light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. Thanks for practicing with me today. Namaste.